And it is that time for PIC TV Network, folks. And I want to thank everybody for watching our shows today. Show today with Apostle Burl Howard, and we have a special guest on also, and that is Apostle Jerome Bowie. He's with us in the studio. And everybody, I want you to tell somebody that PIC TV Network is on for a special presentation today. My name is David Evans, your president of PIC TV Network, and we're excited for all of you who are watching the program on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Twitter, all over the world watching this presentation today. There's high expectation, and we see that the ambassador, the apostle is with us today, and we give God praise for Apostle Burl Howard and all the wonderful people that are watching right now. Thank you for your chats coming in, and we are going to purchase a book. We're going to support her. We're going to show all of our love and support to Apostle Burl Howard on this presentation. Apostle, we're going to bring you up. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I see you never stop working. I see you even in the green room. You still working back there.
I'm texting everybody. I'm sending them to YouTube, Facebook, sending it to my groups, just telling them to chime in with us. I know it's late, but you know what? God is a 24-hour, not even 24-hour. God is an infinite God, and he will give you some strength. Amen.
We're going to play this. This presentation is going to be played all the way throughout the end of the year, so they're going to be able to watch this, the second preview. Apostle, I want to open up before we bring Apostle Bowie on to say thank you. Thank you for all the wonderful things that you've done personally for me. Meeting so many stars and so many movie producers and directors. You have blessed my life, and I was raised to say thank you. And I want to say publicly and on PIC TV Network, thank you. And for all the wonderful people who love her, you can call in on our information line, on the studio line. If you can't join us, you still can call in. So, Apostle, you have been blessed to touch the lives of so many people. When I heard your resume, that was almost 5 minutes. People don't know you have 8 degrees. People do not know what you have done to touch the lives of people around the world. But I want to start back with your story of growing up, because I didn't know you had went through that situation. Can you talk about that for a minute, Apostle?
Sure. It is touchy, but God is good. When I was born with my legs going in the opposite direction. And I literally saw pictures how my legs were turned in like this, going backwards. And so the doctors told my parents, who were very, very young, you guys really need to have her legs broken out and have her operated on just so she can have a normal life. And my dad, I believe he was in dental school. They were in school trying to make it as a young couple. And so they sacrificed so that I could be operated on. And for years, I wore corrective shoes. I used to always like the cute little sandals that go between the toes. My mom was like, you can't have those. And so when I got grown, I bought every pair I could. But inadvertently, my parents enrolled me in a lot of different activities. That's how I became so athletic. I took horseback riding for my balance. I did ballet. I did tap. I did jazz. I even did Hawaii dancing. I did karate. I was really good at karate. I was fighting men until some man kicked me out the ring. I said, I'm done. But so they put me in all these activities, and then my mom put me in beauty pageants just so I could look like a normal human being. And then also my other deformity at that time, I don't have anymore, my eyes used to swing out. And as a little girl, I wore bifocals. So my doctor at that time, I became fascinated with eyes, fascinated with medicine. I'll never forget him. His name is Cohen. He was Jew. I'm sure y'all heard that name before. And he pretty much told me that his practice is my practice when I wanted it. If I wanted to continue to pursue a degree and being a doctor, that I could have his practice. And he helped me get in school to study to be a doctor. So that's just part of what I went through.
And to hear your story, to tell your story to the world is amazing, because, to grow up and to touch the lives of people now around the world, you are a blessing to so many people. And I can see the audience is jumping up now Pastor, I want to talk about mom for a minute because Mother's Day is coming up real soon, and you was a caretaker, and I want you to talk about mom for a second.
Yeah, that's a rough subject for me. I can't even look at her pictures too long. Well, I took care of my mom. I was her caregiver for probably about 7 years. My mom was a precious, precious woman, very intelligent, a go-getter. And I believe that I get a lot of that go-gettedness from her. I mean, she was very, very on point. She never said no. If doors closed on her and God said they were open, she was going to run through them anyhow, and the degrees and all of that. My mother was the first Black woman to get her doctorate in 5 disciplines from GW. So she was a smart cookie. Her nickname was Cookie. So I got to know her honestly when I became her caregiver. And I was just so grateful to God that I was able to do so. And so now that she's gone, I'll give anything to see her again, talk to a caregiver. I would do it all over again. And, and I was with her when she passed. It was very emotional for me, but I missed her. And so Mother's Days are very hard for me, as it is other people who have lost their mothers. Father's Day is very hard for me because I took care of my father as well. I carried my dad on his back. My mother and I pretty much cared for my dad. My brother Brian was very young. He was about 12. And my other brother, he's not into that medical stuff. But me and my other brother, we interchangeably carried him on our backs because my dad was a very unique man. He was cut on about 6 times, and they disarticulated his hip bones from his thigh bone. So he was cut in a V, and he was so strong because he was a professional swimmer also, even though he went into being, into the dental profession. And he used to walk on his arms, and my brother and I, we would pick him up and just carry him on our back. They had given him a prosthesis that was his whole body. We would pick him up, sit him in, and it would snap all the way down. And my father would go to work probably 12 hours a day just for his family, because my little brother Brian was in elementary and junior high, and my father would work with a whole plastic body all the way up to here, and we would put his clothes on the fake legs, and then he would put his real shirt on. And one day my daddy said, I'm tired of this. They just gonna have to accept me for who I am. So he stopped being in that plastic. We lift him up, and he sit in his chair and work like that all day long. So both of my parents were phenomenal people. I don't want to leave him out.
I want to say thank you, Apostle, because nobody would know that. I didn't even know that, your story growing up, your parents being a caretaker. And I want you to encourage somebody who's watching right now, Apostle. They're a caretaker. They feel tired. You've been there. I never did that before. But Apostle, can you just encourage somebody who's feel like I can't do this anymore? Can you give some words of inspiration?
Sure. I'm working on a book about that right now because, pretty much who's taking care of the caregiver? Caregivers, they need help. They need prayer. They need encouragement. I remember with my mom, because she needed 24-hour caregiving, I would sometimes just want to break and go to the store. And I needed somebody to just come so I could just go get a break, just to go to the store. And I want to encourage that caregiver, try to stay as healthy as you can, because when you're around the spirit of infirmity all the time, that thing tries to latch onto you. It tried to latch onto me. I was praying against the spirit of infirmity. I was speaking life over my mom. My mom actually passed 2 times in the house, and I called Elder Tar, put her on FaceTime and told her to call the prayer warriors, and they got to praying, and she came back to life. There were so many times that she was almost taken out of here, and God did a miracle with her. So I just want to encourage the caregiver, don't stop speaking life over whoever you're caring for. Don't stop speaking life over yourself. Take care of yourself. And I just pray that your village comes to help you, to hold your arms up and to be encouraged, and to thank God that God entrusted you with that human being. That's a soul. That's a human being. I spent that time just talking to my mother about the Lord, reading scriptures with her. she had a hospice bed. I couldn't climb in her hospice bed, but when she was in her regular bed, I used to climb in the bed with her and say, Mama, say Psalms 91 to me. So that time is precious, but you never give up because, God can shift that situation. You never give up praying, and just pray for your support system.
I'm so proud of you. I love you, and just what you just said, somebody's going to be encouraged and inspired to hold on and keep on being a great caregiver that you are. Apostle Burrell, I want to go and talk a little bit about now your journey into, before we get to your book, I want to talk about your journey into the music world, because you work with so many big artists around the world, and I say you are the DMV most powerful connector, because you're talking about people like Dietrich Haddon and other great artists that you work with. Can you tell us about how you got involved with these great artists?
Oh, yes. I wish you picked a better picture of me. I don't have no makeup on that picture.
You look good. You look good with or without. You still look good.
Ooh, I don't have no makeup on. At least today I got some lipstick and eyeliner on.
You got that one. You got that one, and you got another one. But tell us about how you came into that world.
Oh, well, I'm going to be straight up with you. From a little girl, when my mom put me in tap dancing, I was a little tiny thing. And they had something called the Bubbling Brown Sugar Competition. And me and one of my friends got in it with tapping. And I just became so fascinated with the entertainment arena. And I really wanted to do entertainment. I wanted to act. I wanted to tap. I wanted to dance, all of that. And so later on, after getting 100 degrees, I still had that in me. And so I ran into some promoters. Matter of fact, me and Apostle Jerome were just working with one of the promoters I have known for like 30 years. I ran into him at a very young age, in my 20s. I started working for these promoters who were financing all those plays that were out, all of them. I've worked on so many plays. And so while I was working on those plays, you start meeting artists and actors and all of that. And so I was doing like marketing, promotions, radio buys, TV buys, street teams, meeting with pastors, setting up the interviews for all the artists. And then they started asking me to manage them. And I was like, nah, Doc. The promoter pays me every week. I know with management, it's iffy, it's up and down. You don't know when you're going to get a check. And so this one artist, Michael Speaks, he was in a play. He sung that song, Jesus is Real. He sung it with John P. Key. And he wanted me to manage him. I said, I can't do that, when the Lord transitioned me into entertainment. So he went to the record company, Sony. He said, I really want this girl to manage me. And Sony didn't really know at that time a whole lot about gospel. So he convinced Sony to pay me to do the marketing for Jesus is Real. And and another song. And so they sent me a check for $10,000. And I used that money for like 3 or 4 months worth of my bill so I could build up money from booking him. Because I had gave up my career in sciences when God called me out. He told me to start my business and call it faith management. He said, because you're going to need a whole lot of faith to sit here and wait for me to bring the phone calls, because you don't even know who to call. You don't have a 9 to 5. You really got to trust me with the contracts. And that's how it started. And I used to sit in my house and cry. It's like, God, I got to pay bills. I can't do this. He said, have some faith. Have some faith. And so Michael Speaks was really my first big artist. And then I started working with the plays, as I told you. But then next came Pastor Dietrich Haddon, because his record company hired me to do branding and marketing and I used to put tours together. I know how to route tours. So they hired me to route his tour. And that was when he first came out. And Pastor D was like, listen, I need you on my team. So I've been with him for over 32 albums. And I love that because he sticks by my side. I stick by his side. We got each other's back. He's not, in and out. I'm switching here, I'm switching here, I'm switching there. So we're like brother and sister. So I've been with him the longest. But that's kind of how it started. Ty Scott Records hired me to route his whole tour. And then from there, just kept going on and on, because as I was working with the plays with Tyler Perry, David Talbot, these people are now film producers now. All these play folks I work for are film producers. And Angie Barrow, she's a film producer. Lizzie Bear, she's a film producer. And so once I started working with that, then it kind of transposed into film, because they were all film producers, you know? And so that's how it kind of happened, because I can't sing, but I can act, man. Welcome to our annual auction, where the highest bidder will receive something so very pure and special with love and obedience.
The bomb.com, and you know we got to pay you for that segment, because you know when you go to that mode, you know you got to get paid for that. When I looked at your resume today,
oh Lord,
amazing. When I looked at your resume, and you know to be the author of a brand new book, and to be a woman who loves God more than anything else. You love God. You know, and to know that this book is now one of the #1 books out there today, and we want everybody to get excited, because we're going to buy this book. We're going to buy these books until we can't buy no more. Then tell us what made you write this book. Wake Up, My Adam. He is in a coma. Yes. Talk about that.
Yes, I want to give a shout out to Prophetess Kiana and Eugene. They're on the Facebook. I guess everybody else is over on YouTube, but I was trying to get them people to come on Facebook as well. You're seeing it on YouTube. Okay, I know you got it all over the place. But you want to know, this is not my first book.
Wow.
No way.
Okay.
I've been involved in about 7 or 8 books. Okay. My very first book was God Hear a Teacher's Cry.
Wow.
And that was about the warfare, the educational arena. And so I didn't think that people had the teachers' backs, not the principal, not the, assistant principal, and sure enough, not the parents. Trust me. The parents were the last ones who had our backs when we told them their child was cutting up. And I got some stories from teaching. I mean, I had a situation where a little boy threw a knife in my class, because we had to leave our doors open. And he threw a big butcher knife at me, and it said, could have taken my eyes out. And I lost it. And I was saved at that time. I'm not going to lie. I left my class. I said, class, I'll be back. I told the teachers next to me, I said, I'll be back. And so I went through that whole building looking for that student till I found him in the stairway. And I snapped on him. And come to find out, that little boy liked me. He had a crush on me. But he threw a butcher knife past my eyes. So teaching was a challenge for me, but I loved my students. Matter of fact, Prophetess Kiana was one of my students. She's the one that said congratulations. It's just amazing how she was one of my students. But I loved my students and I loved what I did. But it wasn't easy, because the opposition was always the parents. And then you had to pray that you got a good administration system that was going to support you and not, come at you or take the parent sides. And also, we were underpaid. I had a bunch of degrees then, and we were underpaid. You had to do that because you love those children and you love what you did.
That is amazing. You are a gift to the body of Christ and to the world. So the book that you have out right now, I want everybody to take a moment and get a copy. All we got to do is scan the QR code, right? It's the QR code right there.
Scan the QR code. It'll go straight to Amazon, from what I'm told.
All right. Well, let me do it right when we're on the air. I'm going to go scan.
All right now. Bishop is buying my book. Woo, woo, woo.
So, Apostle, we have 90 million viewers watching on Roku television around the world. We're going to continue to play this. How many books out of the 90 million do you want to sell?
100 million. Actually, 180 million. I'm going to tell them, go get the book. and go get Kindles. So double,
Wait
180
up.
million.
What inspired you? The topic seemed a little thought-provoking. God, wake up my. What? How? You guys tell us about this. Give us the revelation.
Well, you know, homegirl is single. What? I got great credit, a decent figure. I don't think I look too bad. You know, I got a house, a car. I don't have no baggage. You know, I ain't got 7 kids. Ask me to give them milk. I mean, I'm just saying. And I'm single. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm not in my 20s single, not in my 30s single. You know, at one point I didn't mind because I was acquiring my degrees and doing whatever, but I wanted to be married. I've always wanted a bunch of children. I absolutely adore children. So I cry out to God a lot. I mean, a whole lot, because I'm trying to stay holy. So I cry out to God on behalf of singles. Every jacked up situation that would cause a single person to go in depression or grieving or doubt, I cry out to God. Every holiday, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, even going to weddings. I was like, God, I ain't going to another wedding. I'm done. I'm wedding out. I would cry out to God. And one night at 4:00 in the morning, I was just told God, I'm tired. I don't want to get with the wrong man. I've had a chance to do that. I got men that like me now. You know, let's keep it real. I got some men that like me. But I don't want to make a mistake because I have delayed stuff by picking what I liked. You feel me on all of that, Bishop? Because I like a certain type, and God knows what I like. And so I've done the wrong choices in the past. So I was crying out to God. I said, God, what is wrong? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with all my beautiful friends that are single, that got it going on, and they in the same predicament I'm in? I don't want them to just give up on the promise and start doubting and disbelieving that you're going to be able to do it. And God said, go to Genesis 2:18, homegirl. I'm going to tell you why you were even created. And when I went to Genesis 2:18 and God told me, he reminded me how he told Adam he needs to help me. That was Adam 1. He said he needs to help me. He's going to put him to sleep, and he was going to take her out of his side, the whole 9 yards. And so he did that, put him to sleep. And Adam woke up and said, you shall be called woman, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Now that's how it was. And then Eve jacked it up. So I said, God, but what's going on now? Because we have the second Adam, typology for the second Adam. I need a man that's thirsting after you. I ain't going to pick him. I ain't chasing nobody down. I'm not running behind nobody, because the Bible says he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain a favor. I messed it up before. I'm not going to be in the process. Okay? So God said, write the book. God, please wake up my Adam. He is in a coma. And this pastor, and I always say this in my interviews, one of these pastors was listening to my interview. He said, how can a man be in a coma and you still be woke? Well, sir, glad you asked. Because if you look at the cover of my book, the man is in between woke and asleep. Okay. And you can't tell if he woke up, went back to sleep, waking up. You can't tell because, to answer that pastor's question, he woke up. But what happened? Some demonic forces came and put him in a spiritual coma. That spirit of Jezebel came, manipulative spirit, making this man like an Ahab. That spirit of Delilah came, trying to strip him of his power, his anointing, his glory, his spiritual hair. That spirit of manipulation, that lust demon came, that spiritual spouse came, and they are real because I talk about it. I minister to people on incubus and succubus demons, and that's those spiritual spouses that try to cover you up. Them incantations came against single people, trying to keep them from getting married, word curses. My God, all types of things that people spoke and said it would never happen to them tried to come. And then the lust demon that tried to lure him away and divert him from you when you his woman. So he got to go get cleaned up and fixed up and detox from a soul tie. And then you got to be detox, women, you know. And then God broke all of this down for me. He said, write the book. And that's the title. That's how it came to be. I hope you don't mind me being real, candid, raw, because I'm not trying to be all deep, thus saith the Lord, this, that, and the other. The Lord did tell me to write that book, but I want to be as real as I can, because there's some single people out here who are tired, they're weary, they're hurting, they're going through the cycle. They don't want to be around married people. They don't want to be the third wheel. They don't want to be the fifth wheel. They dream of going to couples retreats, marriage retreats. They may have gone past the year of having babies. They wanted babies. Their friends got grown folks in college, grandchildren. There's some real singles out here hurting, and they'll get so tired that, you know what, they start compromising. They're lonely. They want sex or love. Let's say love making. Let me just go there, because somebody's gonna say I'm crazy. They want their body. Their body was made to make love. I found out, this is true, because I'm a scientist, and this may be too deep for somebody, but if you have sex every day, it has been proven, if you have sex every day, you'll live longer. Ain't that deep? So they have been depriving themselves, holding on, trying to do the right thing, living sanctified, trying to follow the word of God, and then they ain't got no mate. So they get tired of wearing. So that's why I wrote the book.
Wow, Apostle, you are so point on in 2026 today, because it's time to talk about it, the femininity and the masculinity in the church and in the world. We have so many people who don't know what eros means and phileo means.
Erotic love, phileo, friendship.
They don't know.
Agape, that unconditional love.
They don't know. They don't know. And it's like a gray area in the church. We don't want to talk about sex, but people want to have it.
That's eros.
Yeah, and to be real with it, our generation has to talk about this. Yeah, we have to educate folks. It's all right. And I love for your femininity to be expressed today, saying I want to make. I want, because there's so many people out here who are mixed up, messed up, and confused, and we both know what we're talking about. And those on the other side of the screen know what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So you set the record straight. And this book today, folks, can be in your hands right now. We're going to put it back up here. We want 100 people right now to tell people, 10 people tell 10 more people to scan this QR code and go ahead right now. What we want you to do is to scan the QR code, screenshot it first of all, so you can have it. Scan the QR code. Let's see how many people we can get to order. I know we got some wonderful people on right now, but let's see, can we get 100 people right now? I want Apostle to say, Dr. Evans, we had 100 people to get this book. Now, Apostle, I want you to also talk about
the 90 million to get the book that you said.
We're going to get the 90 million.
Okay.
I want you to talk about this event too right here. We got some things we got to get to. What about this event right here?
Okay. I'm doing what you call like a book tour. So I will be at this wonderful expo with my friend, host of 98.5, Glory 98.5, Trey Nicholson. And a shout out to him. I'll be down there with about 12 artists, and I will be selling my books and doing like a meet and greet at my booth. And I'm so excited about it because God is opening up those type of doors for me. I looked at my schedule and I said, oh my God. I sent my schedule to Elder Tara. I said, wow, this is nothing but God's doing. Because after I do that on May, this is really big for me. I come back, and on May the 3rd and 4th, shout out to the home of the 700 Club. CBN TV Network is flying me in to do an interview. They pay for my hotel. They're flying me in. I mean, I was like, whoa, shout out to the producer, Erica, for that. And then after that, I have to be back in South. We have a National Prayer Day. You're a part of that. We're doing that for the council members of Maryland. Bishops and apostles and ministers will be going and praying for the council members, for their workers. All of this we just in May. We haven't even gotten out of May yet. And then after that, I'm going to South Carolina to the Black Expo. I'll be in booth 509, meet and greet. Also, I booked a couple of artists on that Black Expo. Lisa Knowles will be there. She's one of the artists. And it's going to be a lot of talent there, a lot of actors. Megan Good will be there. I mean, you guys need to come through to the Black Expo in Columbia, South Carolina. And this is all God's doing in the month of May. And I'm not even finished yet. You know, I can't tell you my whole calendar, but that is kicking off this Friday, the first flyer you put up. And it just keeps going like that. And then I bless God for all the media people like yourself. I'm interviewing almost every day around the globe. And I just so appreciate it. It's like it's picking up like a ball of fire, just picking up. And, you know, people are coming and saying, Apostle, you know, we want you have a story. We want you to share your story.
And it is an amazing story, folks. And she's on Pick TV Network. And we already see people scanning the QR code for the book. We got Apostle Bowie. We're going to bring him on and let him talk a little bit to you. And those who call in, we thank you for calling in. We got a lot of love coming out. Let me see some of these wonderful people who are on this broadcast today, folks. You're watching the Pick TV Network presentation. We're excited, delighted, blessed, and impressed today to have the Apostle on, Beryl Howard, who is my friend. We've been friends for going on 12 to 14, 15 years. She's on today selling her books on Pick TV Network. Take a moment, folks. Scan the QR code. Get your phone out. Scan that QR code. When you scan the QR code, you'll see how you can get the book right now. We want to see if we can get so many people to buy her book, support her. She's one of our own. You know, she has blessed so many people. And this book today will bless you. She talked about it. She gave some information about it. And we are excited to support her. This is Apostle Beryl Howard on Pick TV Network. We're going to have a commercial break and we're going to bring in Apostle Jerome Bowie. Don't touch that dial. You're watching America's #1 streaming network. You know what it is. It's called the Pick TV Network. And we're watching us on all social media platforms and on Roku TV. We'll be right back after this.
Artificial General Intelligence, AGI, is the next frontier in the realm of artificial intelligence. This groundbreaking technology aims to consolidate various elements, such as the CodeDX coding agent and the Atlas browser, into a single desktop super app. What sets AGI apart is its ability to outperform humans in tasks of significant economic value, functioning as an autonomous system capable of learning independently. ChatGPT, an integral component of AGI, not only assists in tasks but also provides valuable advice. AGI's self-motivated nature allows it to tackle assignments without human intervention, making it a truly remarkable innovation. For further insights into this revolutionary technology, consider reaching out to Dr. David Evans or enrolling in the social media training session course offered by him. Stay informed and engaged with the advancements in AGI by visiting www.thepictvnetwork.net or call the social media training hotline on 240-423-9820.
Pick TV Network right here back again. Apostle, before we bring up Apostle Boy, I want to ask you something. Last night we were talking offset, and we're talking about where the church may be going in the next 5 years. And you said to me privately about we don't know. Because with ChatGPT and AI and artificial intelligence things going, Apostle, there's a shift, there's a change. Can you talk for a second before we bring Apostle up?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Harold Sutton. He just put on here, he's watching us. He said he remembers when I introduced him to Tyler Perry. Wow. Okay, I had to give him a shout out. I can't tell who's watching on YouTube, but I can see on Facebook. But yeah, when we were talking on chat, when we were talking last night about the church, I said that it may not be a church in 5 years. That's what I said exactly. And I said that it will be almost like a three-dimensional situation where it's hologram church. And because that hologram stuff already, it's big. Because I remember over 10 years ago, a friend of mine out of New York, he's always ahead of the game when it comes to technology. He wanted me to help him put together a hologram concert tour. And this was real deal. And there was some big money that was behind it. And it was going to be hologram of a bunch of your major celebrities. And so I said, it'll probably be a situation where it's hologram church. I'm talking about, and this sounds really creepy. This sounds really demonic. This doesn't sound cool. But I'm talking about almost like hologram where the pastor's almost in your living room talking and there's no building. That's what I'm talking about, like that. And it sounds creepy because it almost sounds like astral projecting, because witches astral project in the different places or whatever it may be. But I just felt like, we might not have those buildings no more. This is why we can't put all of our energy into a building. We got to put our energy into getting as many people saved as we possibly can. I told God, and I'm so glad you answered that question, because I told God, and I had to repent. I said, well, every interview I get, I must ask them when, at the end, when they ask me, do I have anything else I want to say? I want to tell people that if you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, the Yeshua, the King of Kings, the Lords of Lords, it's time for you to, to come on into the fold. And I want to offer him up to you, because time is of essence. So we might not have those buildings no more, Bishop.
I study social media. I teach social media, and AI and AGI is really serious. If you don't know about what's going to happen, 90% people don't even know what's going to happen as far as the AI and the AGI. But it's real. It's already here, and you don't want to be left behind when these things take place and wake up and realize the world is not where we were 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's going to be a sudden change. And we talked about this, Apostle, last night with Apostle Bowie. We talking about President Trump. A lot of people talking about him, but we got to keep our eyes on Elon Musk, because Mr. Elon Musk is the one behind all this money and robots. He's the sleeping giant. That when Trump comes out, he's still going to be in. And notice what he did. He wanted to shut the whole government down. He wanted to bring all of this technology change in, which is already in place. And we can't be the last one to find out. When we grew up, and I'm bringing Apostle Bowie up, we had open Bibles. Now everybody got apps. You don't know the process me and you went to before COVID. I would come over your church. You would come over my church. You would fellowship with us. We would fellowship with you. We've been over to each other's fellowship churches. When COVID happened, there was a switch when the whole world shut down, and there was a shift. And God shifted both of us. And our love for Jesus is just as strong. Our relationship with Jesus is just as strong. Even without a building, we're still doing God's will and blessing people. And a lot of people do not understand where we are heading in the next 5 years, folks. Please listen to me. AI is real. AGI is real. Artificial generated intelligence is already here. And guess what? We got to know what's going on. We got to be abreast. I never heard Apostle say what she just said, folks. It might not be church as usual like we know it.
Oh, it's not.
I went to something called a silent party. I was working at the Gaylord Hotel last year for the Disney production. And the 3 months I was over there. New Year's, Apostle. You gotta forgive me, but after I got off work, I stayed over there. I didn't even run to the church. I think I went to Bishop Twyman's church a little later. But after I got off work at 10 o'clock at the Gaylord, they had a big party, and the whole everything was jamming. And they had something called a silent party, which they had earphones on. Got 300 people in there.
That's very popular now.
I've never seen that before. I was culture shock, prophetess. I was culture shock. Can you imagine coming to church and everybody got earphones?
Yeah, that's been very popular for a while, especially among the young people. And they'll filter that artist or whatever's music through everybody's earphones. So they're listening to the same thing. It's like channeled earphones, systematic earphones. It's crazy. But they've been doing that for a while. You were talking about the phones. Let me tell you something. You're talking about everything people watching on the phone, but how about the people who are already ahead of us who their hand is their phone? I'm just saying, their hand is their phone. There are people who have the images and everything of the phone on their hands, and that's their phone. What about the eyeglasses that you put on and you can hear everybody's conversation and they interpret languages for you and all of that? We are beyond there. See, the thing with the world is when we start seeing stuff, that stuff's already been in existence. It's when they allowed us to catch up and see it, and they're already on something else. This is why it's so important for us to stay plugged into God and for God to give us insight, prophetic vision for him, because he's already stepped into tomorrow. He stepped into 5 years from now. So we got to stay tapped in, because when we see the stuff, they've already done it. That stuff that Elon's talking about, he's been working on all of that stuff. He was basically groomed from a child to do what he's doing. So about time it gets introduced to us, it's old news. You know what I mean? And only God can reveal to you what the enemy is up to. And so this is why it's so important. I'm going to say it again. If you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, please get on the bandwagon, because there's stuff that your natural intellectual ability will not help you get out of. I'm a very smart woman, but there are things that I can't get myself out of. I don't care how much wisdom I have. There are things that only God can give me insight on. And even the wisdom and the knowledge, I can't even have that without God giving it to me. Mm-hmm. So the stuff is old that we're seeing now. We need to be praying about what they're really working on now for what is to come, that they're not letting us know about, and then they just gonna spring it on us. That's why I said I would not be surprised if we had hologram church, because they already got holograms.
And in some cultures, you've been all over the world, you travel all over the world, and we don't know how blessed we are, but we spoil blessed, prophetess, when we're talking about what's happening in our world. And what this is right here, it's a dangerous weapon.
It is.
This is an iPhone 17 Pro. I got almost, thousands and thousands of things right here in this phone, but we have to realize that technology today was not meant for it to control us. We're supposed to control it. And the church is not talking about it. We jumping around, speaking in tongues, running around, howling, screaming, praising God, but we're not talking about technology and where we are today and where we're going in the next 5 years, prophets. Because one day we wake up and it's done. It's changed just before our eyes. Apostle Bowie is
stimuli and things that draw us in. This is why people become addictive. I have to pray and say, don't get on your Facebook page right now. Don't get on your IG right now. Don't get on your TikTok right now. Don't get on your Twitter right now. There's certain things that draw you in. It was purposely designed like that to stimulate certain things in that brain cell to make you become hostage to the technology, and then you adapt on that realm, and then there's a whole nother realm they put before you, and then you adapt on that, and you just become immunized to the very thing that causes havoc to your existence. I know you want to bring Apostle on.
I gotta bring him up, Apostle. Really I told you, because this is me and you with the chemistry you have. I already knew what was gonna pop off. When you came on the show today, we're gonna bring Apostle Bowie up. Apostle Bowie, my brother, how you doing, man? Looking cool back there.
I gotta greet him. I gotta greet Africana. I gotta greet him. Can I greet him, Bishop? Can I greet him? I promise him I was gonna greet him. Africana in the building.
Woo! God is good.
You see, Pastor Boy, we love you so much, man.
I tell you, it's just an honor just to be on David Evans, Pick TV. Apostle Barrel's doing so much in the world and in the community, all over this world, and doesn't mind sharing what she does with other people. Doesn't mind opening, having doors come open for other people, and I'm just blessed to know her, and I thank God for her humility, and she does so much. We can't even just talk about it all, and but we thank God for people like that, because some people are in those type of shoes, but they don't share, they don't give back, they don't help. They want the glory, but God ain't sharing His glory with nobody. So what I respect most about Apostle Barrel is that whatever she has, she shares it. She tries to bring other people in and help them out in the area of the devil, whether it's movies, film, artists, whatever. And I thank God for that. To God be the glory. God is good.
Can I cut a joke with you, Apostle Jerome?
Yes, yes.
With you and Bishop, I can tell you one thing I ain't sharing. I ain't sharing my husband when God blessed me with him.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
He might be watching this broadcast, so you got to watch out. Apostle, he may be watching right now. He may be watching right now, Apostle. He may be watching right now.
Because I'm not sharing my wife with no one. I love my wife to life.
And I know that's right.
32 years.
I know that's right. And I want to commend you because you have
35 years.
I want to commend you because you have been just phenomenal with your wife and just speaking life over her and encouraging her and praying for her. And you're speaking to her future, what you see that God promised that He could do with the manifestation of the healing. And that's very commendable because a lot of men wouldn't stick around and do what you do and how you take care of your wife. You're actually a caregiver. And me and Bishop were talking about the caregiver today. And this is why we have to undergird you to help make your load a little lighter, because we're touching and agreeing with you that God is going to work this thing out. But we do know in the process, you need prayer, you need support, you need encouragement, you need people saying, man, God, keep on pushing. So we commend you for being that caregiver to your wife. She married the right one. Hey, Bishop, see what I'm saying about my book? See, these folks be marrying the wrong people. They don't look at the long haul. Just imagine if she didn't follow God and she married somebody else, some joker.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
I can't hear you, Bishop.
You're right, because we need people today with the wisdom, the knowledge, the integrity, the character, the honesty that you're putting out there. It's a lot of people who want to say what you're saying, but they don't say it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't hit too many women. I want a husband. When I get my husband, to say that, it's powerful. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And I love you for that. I love you for that, woman of God. And Apostle Boyd, we got some people popping on, man. They want to call in. We got the call in line.
Wish I could see who was popping in and on and everything. I want to see.
We got to call in and talk to the guests. Call in and talk to Apostle Barrel on 240-423-9820. Apostle is going to be right here. She would love to hear from you. As soon as the phone rings, we'll put it on, and you will be talking to the great woman of God. Call in and give us some love. You may be watching right now. You see them to call in. I know Billy Hall is watching right now. J. Rob is watching right now. We got a lot of people out there.
They're my support system. And I just, I want to say thank you to them. Overseer Billy Hall, she's caught almost all my interviews. And J. Rob, he's come on when he can, Apostle Jerome, they share my interviews. I don't know I can't see who's there to call their names out, but there is a support system. And that means so much, when you know that people are genuinely praying for you, and I can't go around Overseer Billy Hall without her putting some money in my hands. I mean, the last, I'll tell you, I'm like, what is this for? She's like, I'm sowing into where you going, girl. She's like, the anointing is just on you. I can see I'm sowing. And, just to have that support system means a lot when you're out here and you're trying to do something that only God could have done through you and for you.
You're doing it. You know, you love by so many people. I want to say thank you again. You did something to bring the house sweet to sound. You to bring the pastors together from the city, and I was one of them to be honored at Constitution Hall. Pastor Apostle Bowie was there, and Bishop Demery was there. Bishop Billy St. James. It was so many of us that was honored because of you. You took time out. And you could have got some of the biggest names in the country to come, but you honored those right along in this area, possibly Billy Hall. Tell us why you did that. Tell the world, why did you take time out to honor ministries and that may not be mega?
Because, you know, people automatically are drawn to mega churches. Just because a church is mega doesn't mean the anointing is there. Doesn't mean that the glory of God is there. Doesn't even mean that a good word is there. I'm just saying. Sometimes people know how to work the system. Sometimes people just have the intellect to build a church. So I'm for, and I'm not trying to say this in a bad way, because I kind of would put myself even in that category. I'm for the ones that people consider, I don't want to say underdogs because I don't want to say it, but the ones that people least likely would use in a big situation. That's who I'm for. And I'm for the people that do things for the people. I'm for the people that are really into serving the people, praying for the people, and into feeding the people. They care about the people. They're not caught up into whether or not they have a 10,000, 5,000, 4,000 seater building. They care about the souls of the people. And so this is why the Lord had placed it on my heart. Last year and this year, we were going to do it this year as well. The Lord had placed it on my heart to honor these people, because these are people in the trenches. You know, I talked to a pastor today, and they were out feeding somebody. I think I was talking to Pastor Gwendolyn Smith, and they were feeding somebody the other day when I was talking to them. You know, those are the type of people that need encouragement as well, because they may not have all the other fancy stuff that draws people in. I mean, you know, if you don't have a big banging choir, or you don't have, when I say that, a worship team, or you don't have an MD that everybody knows, they might not be a celebrity artist that's your MD at your church. You know, people are drawn to superficial things. Bishop, they're drawn to superficial things. But these people are people with the oil. They're with the anointing. They are praying. You know, they're laying out on behalf of these people. They are there for those people in need. So I wanted to recognize them. And a lot of times they're forgotten and not appreciated.
And that's the truth. You know, you feel like, and I felt that way. You know, I've been in ministry over 40 years and never had 4,000 people, never really had 400. Does God love me less? You know, I never had a mega church, but having a mega message. And, you know, to be honored there in Constitution Hall, and to be out there and thousands of people in that place, and knowing that you looked out for us. We're so blessed. Our city is blessed. I want to talk a little bit about Dr. Howard, about how you also it's a blessing to connecting people together with the movies that you do. And I had another thing I wanted to put up here when we're connecting with you. Oh, this is what I want to put up. Apostle, your ambassador. You got to talk about this. You got to talk about this. Please tell the world about this, Apostle.
Oh, wow. Over 20 years ago, the Lord told me I was going to be an ambassador. And I was like, man, I want to go back to school. A long time ago, I wanted to be Secret Service. I did. I wanted to be either Secret Service or a Green Beret. And I was like, I'm too old to do all of that or whatever. But the Lord said, you're going to be an ambassador. And I was drawing a picture. I should have given you the picture. I was drawing a picture with all these countries on it. And it was angels around these countries. And it was God's hand and his presence on it. And the Lord told me, he said, you're going to be doing work in all these countries. I was like, how? What? I ain't money to go to all countries. And he said, I'm going to send you there. So he started sending me to those countries. Other people would be paying for it. Somehow I end up in a country. St. Vincent and the Grenadines gave me the key to the country. I was the first woman to preach at a 5,000-seater venue. And I turned the opportunity over to somebody else on that Saturday. And I preached on Sunday. I gave it to her Saturday. I said, let her have it Saturday. I'll do Sunday. And so God was doing things like that with me. I was going to Africa, taking a bunch of pastors and people with me and working with the prime ministers and the government officials and the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Religion, all of this. And the Lord said, I'm setting you up, setting you up, setting you up. And so then the time came when I least expected it. And one of my prayer partners, dear friends, she is the only colonel, high-ranking colonel in her country. That's Apostle Modeste. And she and I were talking about it. And so she stood behind me and she spoke on behalf of me to become an ambassador. I was at the right place at the right time. And the gentleman you saw in the picture with me, he was the one who actually oversaw the whole process. He said to me, he said, you've been doing philanthropy, ambassadorship work for a long time now. He said, it's just now time for the actual title to line up with all the work that you've been doing for 20 some years. And so that picture there, he was telling me I'm not just an ambassador, but I'm the highest ranking ambassador. And I was literally in tears while he was talking to me. Looking at us, she might have been the one with the camera, and we were in Vienna, Austria. They had just presented me because I had gone through classes and training and background checks. And when he told me that, you could have almost picked me up off the ground, because I just said, because they called my name a couple of times. I was like, why are they giving me, God will overwhelm you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why are they giving me extra? He said, because you're at the highest level. And so it's called a Global Peace Ambassador to the United Nations, which is 193 countries. So I need ministry money to do what I got to do. It takes money to do that type of kingdom work and go in those countries. And so some of the other ambassadors, they invite me to their countries to do work with them. One of my close friends, he's Ambassador Bossman. He's from the UK via Africa. He was on our 24-hour prayer line. He and another one of the ambassadors have invited me to come do work in Africa with them, with the youth and everything else. And, so it's philanthropy work that we do all over the globe. And I'm just believing God, he's going to make me a multi-millionaire so that I can do more kingdom stuff and do this type of philanthropy work everywhere, here in the United States as well.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of you for just letting us know the story. I see the pictures. I watch you on Facebook, follow you, but I didn't know that part of it, to be the first. That's a big honor. And speaking of prayer, I want to say to you, thank you for bringing together these great people. And I know the screen is kind of big, but can you talk about this, prophetess, and why this is dear to you?
Yeah, you've done your homework. This was our, this was from just day before yesterday. We have our prophetic prayer line every Monday night, in which we have speakers from all over the globe speak to seasoned ministers and pastors and apostles and bishops about how the Lord will want us to pray. I mean, these people come with prophetic words to impart into us. And this past Monday, we had a speaker all the way from St. Lucia. He's a prayer warrior, preacher. His name is Apostle Andre Mason. And he might be watching. I don't know, because he's another one who supports me. And Apostle Bowie has preached numerous occasions. And so what we do is, we give them direction as to what God is speaking for us to pray about. We are prayer warriors on the wall, for real, for real. Those people can really pray. And
it's grown up. I see Apostle Mason up here, Dr. Rhonda Wood up here. I see Apostle Bowie, Joyce Adams. It's growing. And tell people, Apostle, how they can tune in and be a part of this. Can you give us some information?
Yes, every Monday night, we go on live at 8 p.m. And I always post the information on my Facebook page. We put the speakers that are going to be on there. So please join us. To be honest with you, when I first started it, it was much larger than that. I had ongoing about 60 or 70 people, but that was before Zoom, StreamYard, COVID, and we were just on a conference call. But what I find out is a lot of people, they're scared to show their faces, and I don't get it. I don't understand why, but you have some that would rather call in or they'd rather watch us from Facebook. So it's actually more than what's up there, But yes, we're every Monday night, and we're inviting people to just join us for these prophetic speakers and those that are imparting into us. And I'm telling you, it does wonders for me to get with my brothers and sisters every Monday night. I'm getting ready to do, I love doing prayer vigils, like that phenomenal one we did, 24-hour prayer 2 times. We did in November, did it in December with pastors from all over the globe. But I'm working on something else for souls. And a lot of these prayer warriors will be involved in it because God has commissioned me to try to get as many souls as I possibly can and lead them into the Lord. And so this prophetic prayer line has really been instrumental in helping the leaders stay afloat. And, a lot of us get weary and tired, or we don't have people telling us keep going because everybody's pulling from us. You know what I'm saying, Bishop?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, you and Apostle Jerome, everybody pulls from us, but they don't necessarily speak life over us. And we got to be available for them and keep a smile and just pray we get it. But there's real times I just don't feel like it. And then I'll get on that prophetic prayer line, and then somebody will get on there, start praying for me and praying for the rest of us. And it just gives you that extra energy to keep on going.
Yeah.
Apostle Boy's on there with us every Monday night.
I know.
We have some very faithful people that come on him. Elder Tar's on there. She spearheads it. Elder Tar Hughes. That's who you see next to me. There's been many a times I've even been in other countries, and I was on in another country, but she spearheaded everything. She's been with me for years doing this. Prophetess Anna Stevenson, she's been with me for years. It's some of them that have been with me for years. Dr. Rhonda, she's pretty consistent on there as well. Prophetess Joyce, she comes on quite a bit too. And we picked up Apostle Solomon, who comes on. I mean, it's just amazing, and I just thank God for it. Doris, Prophetess Doris, she's there every Monday night. And if she's going to be late, she texts me. That's respect. She'll text me and say, Apostle, I'm running behind, but I will be on there, So that's what it is every Monday night.
And if we ever needed prayer before, now we do need it. We need prayer as much as we can. And I want to thank you, man. You had me to do some teaching one time, and it was amazing. I got something else I want you to talk about. And I'm working you tonight. I'm working you, right?
I see you working me. It's okay. I'm still up. God has given me energy. As soon as I hang up with you, I'm going to eat up some of my goji berries. I like all that stuff. They're healthy stuff. But yes, thank you for putting that up. That is the movie documentary. I Am She, She Is Her. And God has blessed I'm going to say Michael Chen, who I manage, the film producer. We have a distribution deal to over 100. Michael said we're now, at first I thought we had 150 platforms, but we got more than that. We got about 160. And Tubi is one of them, Hulu. We got a bunch of them. And so God has blessed us to do this documentary series, and I always tell people it's on Tubi because Tubi is owned by Fox, and it's grown so much.
Yeah,
people love Tubi. You have known actors that want to be on Tubi, that even put it in movies on Tubi. So I tell people Tubi first because if we're on so many, I can't list. I don't know all of them. And so what happened was Overseer Billy Hall, I don't know if she's still on here or not, but she came to me and she said, listen, I got 2 young ladies, they have an idea. They want to do a documentary film on safe space.
Wow.
And she said, I want you to talk to them. And, safe space for women, women creating an atmosphere that is conducive to another woman reaching the heights and the goals and soaring high and not trying to block her and not trying to sabotage her, not trying to slam a gate in her face. And so she came to us, and I went to Michael Chen, And I said, let's think about this. And we prayed about this. I pray about everything. I'm at the point now, I just don't entangle myself with anything I don't pray about. And so I prayed about it. And so Michael and Tim and I decided, okay, we're going to produce it. So it was me, Michael, and his wife, Desiree, because she was working at that time for, I think, NBC News or something like that. She's an editor. So she did it, and we finished it, and it's out. It is out. It is. And we have 2 other movies that we shot in Ohio. Those will be coming out. Michael is editing with our editor, Arson. Shout out to Arson. They're editing the other 2 movies, and they're faith-based movies, and Michael wrote them. And so I'm the producer of those 2 movies. They will be out, and they will be on the same platform. I mean, we have a lot of places where it's going, so they will be on the same platform. And so Michael and I have been talking about, he's like, Apostle, those movies that you put in the trunk that you wrote, that you said, God, you would never pull out, and those books you wrote, it's time for you to bring them out. I said, Michael, I need funds, all this stuff. And, but I do thank God. I do want to give a shout out. She called when we started interviewing. I want to thank God for one of the directors who I work very closely with of Dem Gibson's film in the TV series Double Cross. Crystal Gibson, the writer, the creator, producer, the whole 9 yards. I got to give a shout out to her because, Bishop, let me tell you, I was leaving out a restaurant today, picking me up some broccoli. Brussels sprouts. I love these Brussels sprouts. It's a restaurant here. You got to check out. I love them. And so I was coming out, and this guy stopped me. He said, "Excuse me, ma'am." I said, "Yes." He said, "Aren't you on the TV series?" And I looked, and I came close. This happens to me all the time. And I came over to him. He said, "You're on that TV series." And I said, "What TV series?" Because, I've been on a couple of, shows. And he said, "You're on Double Cross." He said, "I watch you. I love your characters. You can act." I said, "But I'm not a nice lady on there." And that's I said, I'm a piece of work on Double Cross. And while he was talking to me, this other lady was like, "Yes, that's my favorite show. Are you all coming back on? I watch you on Double Cross. I love you, blah, blah, blah." And I called Crystal on the spot because these people were just going wild over me. And they were like, "Oh my God, you're Diane." I said, "Yeah, I'm Diane, but Diane need to lose 15 pounds because whenever I shoot, I'm 15 pounds skinny." I said, "Diane, get ready to get her figure back." And they were like, "Yeah, we know you." So I called Crystal. I said, "Crystal, we got to hurry up, shoot season 6. Because everywhere I go now, I was in Ross selling my books, and the people knew me from Ross. I was selling my books at Ross, and I come to Ross so much they don't even bother me. The security guards are like, "Let her sell her books." I was in there signing autographs in Ross, and you know what? And I said, "You know what, God? I'm gonna get an endorsement deal like that. One of these syndicated type stores is going to invite me in, and I'm just waiting for the day. You know what I mean? Where they have celebrities come into those stores and just autograph." I said, "God, you must be setting me up because Ross lets me sell books. Copper Canyon lets me sell books. Burlington lets me. They let me sell my books in there, and they don't say nothing to me." So that's God.
That's favor. Everybody watching right now, what we want you to do, there is a book release from Apostle Vera Howard. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book that you can get and put in your collection. You can get it right now. Scan the QR code, or the number is right there, 910-644-1824. You can go and get it right now. And then please look at the repeat. Send this to everybody. Everybody who get the copy of this on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, wherever you're watching, send it to 20 people. Just send the link out. It's a beautiful book out, folks, and we want to support our own. A lot of times we go places and we don't even know that individual, and we support that person. But Apostle Vera Howard is here on PIC TV Network, and I love your cover today. Matter of fact, I love your cover so much, I'm going to give you something. Let me see, can I put this up here? We got a cake for you. We got a cake for you, Apostle.
Oh, I'm on a diet. I'm on a diet.
Somebody eat it. You can give it away. But we gonna give you the cake, and then you do what you want to do with it. You know, it's up to
I
you.
like chocolate too. That's my weakness. When I do cakes, I only do chocolate and lemon meringue pie. But I'm on a serious diet. The Lord already told me, I got to consecrate on a whole nother level in May. I can't. I can't stay at the level I am with my prayer life. You feel me? I gotta go somewhere higher. And it means sacrificing, turning down my plate, whatever it is. I've got to get my temple back in its best shape. A couple of months ago, I was in such great shape because I teach my chair classes, and I stopped for a little bit, but I'm getting asked to start teaching my classes again and my health classes. But the Lord said He has something that He needs to do with me, and I just got to be on another level. So I thank you for that, Kate. But I can't have no cake right now.
we got Apostle. We have a special guest just came on the audio line. Can you tell us who you are and tell us your relationship with Apostle? Okay, go ahead.
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. We can speak. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, hi, Apostle. I'm excited to see you this weekend and to be a part of
That's Elder Tara.
your book. Yes, it's Elder Tara. So I'm excited, and I want people to know you are such an amazing woman of God. And just like Apostle Boo was talking about how you always do things for people, and even the host, you have a big heart for people, to bless people. And that's one thing that I really, really love about you. And also, I want the people to know I'm excited and waiting on one of your books. And you already know which book I'm waiting on.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm waiting on the book about signs. I never knew about symbols and signs until I met Apostle Burl Howard. And then it's like, now I can recognize a sign or a symbol and be like, that's not of God. So I'm grateful for all the things I have learned from you. And I'm excited about that book. So people, y'all write comments or blow up our Facebook or Messenger and say, bring out that book.
Oh, wow. And you
pressures me about that book.
Wow, it's amazing how you can communicate. And where you calling from? Where you from?
I'm calling from South Carolina.
South Carolina. All right.
That's Elder Tara, who I just mentioned, who mans. Oh, you better get online. When she tell you to get on, she be like, get on now. So she's the one that holds the prayer line together. But she wants me to teach on symbols. I have studied symbols intensely. I've been studying symbols forever. And I'm very careful as to what clothes I pick up, certain things. God will make me instant. I picked up something the other day. God said, look at the inside. I looked at the inside, I saw the skulls. I said, oh, man. And, I'm getting to the point now, I can almost tell clothing lines that I know are demonic or who have dedicated their business for success over to Satan. And so she's ready for me like this. You know what this means? People use it all the time. They say peace, but that really represents the pentagram, different things. Yeah.
Wow.
See, we do a lot of stuff ignorantly as believers because we don't know. We're not being taught. And
we destroy for lack of knowledge. A lot of people don't understand, because I tell people I will never speak or publicly have the Apple phone with the Apple symbol on my laptop. Why? Because if you study the symbol Apple and you study how they got the Apple, go on the internet. 666. Oh, you are bad. Come on.
If we start getting into symbols while we on here,
how did you know that? I would have lost that bet. I would have lost that bet. I called some of the biggest. I said, well, don't do that because that Apple symbol. Look how they got it.
Yeah, 666. Don't even have me getting to the sixes on the Wendy's. I mean, I can just go there with you, the McDonald's, all of that. See, that's what I'm saying. Elder Tara wants me to teach on those signs. There are even emblems that are on buildings that people don't even know what those emblems mean. And those emblems on those buildings are drop-off spots for child sex trafficking.
Wow.
They're symbols.
Wow.
And unless you have been taught, or unless you study it, you don't even know what it means. And these are things, even, okay, here's one I'll give you. A demonic symbol is on the Oreo cookie.
Yep, you told me that. I think you told me that.
That's just one that, because I used to love some Oreo cookies, but when I found out what that thing meant, I just, I stopped buying them because I like chocolate. And I stopped buying them. But, there's a lot of them on our foods, Doritos. There's a reason why it's a triangle. It means something. That triangle means something, and we don't pay attention to it. And just like, they tried to bring everything out about the monster drinks and everything, because the Hebrew 6 is on front of the monster drinks. And it says 666. But then those same drinks, those drinks that are causing people to have their brains deteriorate, those drinks that are causing, putting people in the hospital or whatever, they have a lot of demonic undertones to them. So Elder Tar wants me to teach on signs and symbols, but I told her that I have to do in the order that God tells me, because right now I'm working on some more books, and in the next couple of months I'm dropping another book, and I'm doing it how He's telling me, what I'm saying. In the symbol book, it takes a lot for me to write.
A
lot.
Apostle, you are the first one, because I've been trying to talk to some leaders, and I know some big leaders, and I know some leaders around. I said, why, when you use the Apple symbol and you have it on your laptop and you broadcast in that, do you know what you're doing? Do you know what that symbol means? Look it up. 666. That's how much they got it from. That logo means something.
It does.
And then you take that over to China and see what happens. Open it up and talk to them over there with it. So we've been destroyed for lack of knowledge. But once we get the knowledge, and I need you to come on, Apostle, on our Gospel Life channel and talk about this stuff. Talk about it, because we education is the process of learning, and we never stop learning. Observation, what do I see? Interpretation, what does it say? Correlation, how does it fit? But most of all, application, how that is applied. So we have to take these principles today, and you are a higher level educator in the Christian world and in the natural world with all of your degrees. You're a blessing to so many people. We're going to take a commercial break for our closing, folks, but we want you to take a moment to get the book. This is why we're on today, to push Dr. Burl Howard's brand new book out, folks. We want everybody out here who's watching to get this book right now. Don't delay. Get it today. It's right here, folks. This is the book that we're talking about. God, please wake up my Adam. He is in a coma. Scan the QR code or call 910-644-1824. You can call her. You can speak with her, and the woman of God will bless you.
Don't call me now.
Yeah, call it.
Don't call me now.
But she'll come to your event. I know she's hungry. Yeah. She'll come to your event. She'll bless you. And she is a powerful, powerful woman of God. Apostle, you have to come back, because I love your chemistry. You bless so many people. You're a gift to the body of Christ and to the world. So, Apostle, let's do some closing words. Give some closing comments before we close out the broadcast.
Wait till I write that book, How to Stay Married. How to keep your marriage. Huh? Hey, where did you go, Bishop?
I know. I'm listening to you. I gave you the big screen.
Yeah. No, I'm going to write that one too. And at that time when I write that, I'll be married, because I've had to tell women, I'm a single woman, but I've had to tell women how to keep their man.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, one of these thirsty women I talk about in the book will try to snatch them away from them. I had to tell one young lady, and she was telling me, it's like, Apostle, I was a pastor at that particular time. And she's like, my husband is acting a little indifferent to me, and some other woman is trying to get his eyes, and I think he's kind of peeping. I said, girl, if you don't go ahead and put some slingbacks on and answer the door, like, you know what I'm saying, no clothes, and cook him some food and this, that, and the other, and serve him up. And so I said, you're going to lose him. And she came back to me and she said, Apostle, I'm pregnant. So I'm going to write that book too.
I'm trying to see if I can get a drum roll on that one, Apostle.
How to keep your husband. Because I know from watching these relationships years, I have learned what not to do. I can't stand a nagging woman who nags her husband. I can't. You know, and the Bible talks about that, a man getting on the rooftop, then sitting and listening to a nagging woman. So these are the type of things that a single person needs to know before they even get married. Don't just be sitting there twiddling your thumbs, being depressed because your man didn't come. No, learn how to be a good wife in advance. And like I said, be detoxed, cleansed, holy, be in position, be ready, be prepared. So when that piece shows up, that rib shows up that you're supposed to fit in, you're not trying to force in because you fit in. And so I'm excited about what God is going to do for all these people, Bishop, for those that find their marriages. We're in a season for those people to get married. We're in a season for them to rise up over the enemy. That spirit of delay has got to go. Discouragement, that spirit of depression, grief, that spirit of doubt, that spirit of thinking God isn't going to fulfill the promise, that spirit of thinking that they're a eunuch when God didn't call them to be a eunuch, that spirit that tried to sabotage and shoot spiritual arrows to divide them from their mate before their mate even came into the picture. It's got to go in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. So Bishop, I want to speak life over these people tonight, and I want to speak life over marriages that may be on the brink, marriages that look like everything is going well with them, but we are not behind the closed doors, marriages that the enemy is trying to rip up, tear up, because two people are more powerful than one person, and God put them together for a reason, because it was a divine purpose, a divine plan, and the Lord said that the woman should submit. Husband, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Women submit. They're supposed to submit to their husband, just like it says in the book of Ephesians 5. But we got a lot of marriages because they're out of order.
Yes, sir.
They're out of order. And I'm praying for marriages too in this season. I want to encourage those marriages that are out of order to get back into the order, the divine order of God, and be an example for people who desire to be married. Because I talk to so many people who've been married, done that. And they're like, I don't even know why you want to get married. I've already done it. It's not all that it's cracked up to be. Well, we need some examples, some godly, holy examples that exemplify two people working together to fulfill the promises of God. So I want to encourage you, married people tonight, as well as the singles. Okay.
Prophet, you are on the ball. I mean, we got to get you to do a master class, a conference. I mean, 4 or 5 hours, because a lot of times people forget. They don't understand when you're talking about keep the fire hot. You know, make sure that you practicing the biblical principles of a marriage. And what to do before you get married, what to do after you get married. This is very, very important. Please, everybody, get this book and let Apostle Vero know we want to thank you for coming on PIC TV Network. She's coming on again because we're going to talk next segment on her health, how she has me working out. We got to talk about the workout that she does. And this is a wonderful, wonderful woman of God. Now, tell everybody you come in this area so they can get ready to support you.
South Carolina, Elder Tara says she's going to be with me. She was with me in Charleston. She's going to be with me in that Florence area. I will be there at the Carolinas at the big 4th annual festival that 98.5 Glory FM is doing. I'll be at, I don't know my booth number, but I will be there to meet and greet you and sell my books. And I'll be there to pray with you. When we were in South Carolina, I looked over at my booth table and Tara was praying. She was praying with somebody. And then the Lord reminded me, that's why I opened up the platform. You all are supposed to be winning souls. You all are supposed to be praying for people hurting, who have turned away from God, people who need hope, people who need life spoken over them. So I'm praying that when we go, that me and Elder Tar are reminded that the reason we're even going there is because there's people that we must see, and we must usher them into the kingdom and pray for those that are in need. So meet us April the 25th in Florence, South Carolina.
Wow, that's amazing. You have heard it today, folks. We're here on PIC TV Network, America's #1 streaming network on Roku and all social media platforms. Apostle Vera Howard, she is coming back on again. This is only part 1. You got to do a weekly show on the network. You got to come back and do a weekly show. Shout out to Jill Nelson and Pam, Timeless Entertainment, all of our wonderful people there. Apostle Bowie, thank you.
Is Gil there?
Gil gonna be watching. Want to give a shout out to him. All the people who were in the play with us, the wedding, the family affair, the wedding, stage play, everybody.
It's time for another one, Bishop. Tell Gil, tell Apostle Jerome to tell Gil it's time for him to write another play for us to be in. I enjoyed that, but
it was super amazing. You did a super good job. And don't forget, when we leave this broadcast, go over to Tubi and watch Apostle Vera on the documentary. Go over there, and this is amazing. I watched it. I love it. I am she is her. You can go over to Tubi and watch it right after this broadcast, and then comment and tell her how much you love her. And this book, folks, don't forget the book that everybody's talking about. Let me get it back up. The book that everybody's talking about, God, Please Wake Up My Adam. I know I threw a lot at you today because you know I did my homework.
You did. You did. I really appreciate. I mean, this has been phenomenal. You know, I didn't know you. I mean, man, people asked me for that stuff when they interviewed me, but you actually used it. And I thank you for that. Because
you on PIC TV, so you gotta represent. You know what I'm saying? You're on PIC TV network, so you gotta represent. Hey, and want to thank everybody again. Apostle Howard, you got so many amazing. Look at Coach Yvette Evans. She's saying, awesome woman of God with a big heart. That's Coach Yvette Evans, my wife. I thought she was asleep. She's up there listening to you. You waking people up. We're supposed to be getting some. You wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No backward thinking time. Oh, I ain't gonna get into that. So again, Apostle, you are such a blessing. Please look at the repeats, folks. If you just tuning in, you just surfing and you found this broadcast, look at it. We want the numbers to go up. Don't just watch. Like and subscribe. When you watch it on PIC TV or PIC YouTube or Facebook, like and subscribe. Let these numbers go up. We can even go viral if you guys like and subscribe and then share it. Doesn't cost anything to copy and share. We give you permission to copy and share and tell somebody about this book. Right now, Apostle, one more time, for somebody who just tuned in, they can get the book right now. All you have to do is scan the QR code, folks. All you have to do, Amazon. Everybody got Amazon. Or you can call 910-644-1824.
Or you can go to Kindle.
Or Kindle. And check out Apostle Vera Howard on Facebook. Apostle Vera Howard on Facebook. You can see her information there, or VeraHowardMinistries.net. You can see the information right there on the PIC TV network. Well, we're getting ready to say adios, amigos. Want to say I love you, so I know you want to get something to eat. I know you're going to eat a little late tonight.
I'm eating healthy, though. I'm going to get me something really healthy. I already had some Brussels sprouts.
I can't wait till you come back on the next segment and talk about the health. We're gonna take 25 or 30 minutes to talk about working out and what you do for some women, because I want them to come on and share their information too. Because you work them, you don't play.
I don't.
And they don't need no equipment. They don't have to go to Gold's Gym. They don't have to go to Planet Fitness. No equipment. Can you believe that? This woman of God has a way that you can work out and you can live longer exercising without no equipment. Pastor, just give us
I need to practice what I preach.
we'll leave that to. We'll say that for the show. We love.
I gotta get back on the bandwagon. Scripture Cathedral called me up, Eddie them. They want me to come over there and teach chair class. And I'm running into these churches that want me to do chair class. I'm like, Lord, give me the strength. Because I do it like I was doing it 3 times a week, and
right,
and just like how you try to get people to watch and support, I'm calling up these grown folks. Come on, y'all, get on. It's time to work out. It's time to get in shape. It's time to do this, and I would teach them medicinal things to keep themselves healthy. This is why I said to you, I'm getting to go eat me some goji berries. Because goji berry helps with the eyes, it helps with the heart, it helps with digestion. Yeah. It's got all these medicinal properties. And so when I teach the chair class, I give them 2 tidbits every class for, just a love offering. And this is stuff that you'd have to sit down with a herbologist or a nutritional, no less, to get. So I'm gonna start it back up with like a boot camp fashion. Come meet me for 6 weeks. We're gonna hard, then I'm gonna stop. Then I'm gonna do it again, then we're gonna stop. Because I just can't be calling people up every week, every day. Come on, y'all, get on class, get healthy.
We got a guest on from Flint, Michigan, all the way from Flint, Michigan, Eugene Brown.
Oh, hey, Eugene. Yes, he's a radio announcer. He's interviewing me Friday. Yes. Hey, Eugene, I'm glad you said something because I can't tell what you see over there on YouTube. But yeah, God is so good, and I can't wait to talk to him as well. So I'm happy to see him here tonight, all the way from Flint. Like I said, the Lord is opening up a lot of doors. And Prophetess Kiana, she's normally in the bed at 9 o'clock. She's still hanging in here with us. She's hanging in there with us, Bishop. And Prophetess Kiana be in the class too. She comes in the class. When you teach her, you better be ready because she be soaking up that wisdom and that knowledge. You can't be coming up in there faking. I mean, before I teach the class, I exercise an hour in advance before I teach them, just so I can be on point, because you got them people like veterans like Prophetess Kiana. They like, okay, come on, just bring it. And Elder Tara was on here. She lost almost 40 pounds with us. Nikki Frazier lost 50 pounds. I mean, these women losing weight, looking good, in shape. So the Lord told me I got to jump back into it.
Yeah, I want them to be on the Health Channel. I want them to come on and share their testimonies and talk about, their story. Everybody has a story, and Pick TV Network is the place to show it. Folks, you've been watching a special presentation today on Pick TV Network. I want everybody to take the link, share it, tell somebody about this wonderful program tonight that we had with Apostle Beryl Howard, and let's get her booked. What we want to do is get everybody who's watching right now, I want her to call me and say, I got so many books sold, and I want you out there who are watching, let's do something special for Apostle Beryl Howard. Get her book. Let's support her, folks. She's one of our own. When I looked at her bio, it was amazing. That bio was just super crazy amazing, and we got AI to read. It was just amazing. If you haven't heard it, you look at the first part of the program and you hear it. It just, this woman God has done so many things, and I'm indebted to her because she allowed me to meet some movie stars. Dietrich Hatton to go to movie premieres in Georgetown to meet writers and directors of movies and to interview some great movie producers. When she has something big, we were at the Martin Luther King Library. I will never forget. She asked me to come and interview people that I've been watching on TV for years, Jasmine Guy and some other ones, the special people. And I'm so blessed. Pick TV Network is blessed because of Apostle Beryl Howard. Apostle, promise me you're coming back on.
I'll come back on.
You said it like a little girl, though. You said it like a little girl. You said it like you was like 3 years old. I'm coming back on.
I get that side to me too. People just don't see that side.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Y'all know when we watch it, Pick TV is the place to be. And don't forget, we love you. And stay with God. God will bless you as you continue to do his work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, friend, this is David Evans, president of Pick TV Network. If you want to be a part of something great on television, get in touch with us at www.picktvnetwork.net. That's www.picktvnetwork.net. Come on and be a part of our shows and programs as we grow the Pick TV Network. Thank you for your time.
Do you recall late summer night? We were moving through the city under broken lights. No plans ahead, just time to wait.
Marriage isn't just about love.
So glad you made it.
It's about the secrets we hide. The promises we break. And the truth we're afraid to face.
Fine. We can't keep pretending everything is fine!
When old friends reunite for one unforgettable getaway, their relationships will be tested like never before. Because sometimes the real question isn't why we got married.
Away from this!
It's whether love is strong enough to survive.
Maybe the real question isn't why we got married.
We've all been hurt at some point, even abandoned. Many of us have done the hurting ourselves. We get to the point where we don't trust anyone, nor do we feel worthy of being loved by anyone. Then there's that one person who just doesn't give up on loving you. Their love is unconditional. Their love stays long enough for you to heal. And then they promise to never leave. That's love you can count on. God's love.